I'm Juju,
I'm Nick.
and we are starting a band.
We are.
Yeah. The name of the band is Aramita. Why are we doing this? I don't know.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Everybody kind of wants to do that.
Yeah. Well, we've been in bands. I've been in bands before, and we decided we wanted to start a band, but we didn't know how to do it really because there's not really tutorials for it. If you look up how to be in a band, it's basically just a bunch of advice stuff. So we figured if we were going to start from scratch with nothing and go as far as we can, we should at least record the whole thing. That way, if anybody else ever wants to start a band, and of course millions of people are going to want to, there's now something to watch, right?
Mm-hmm. I think everybody, when they're starting something like that as sort of non-objective as a band, I think everybody kind of wants that, even if they don't know it, but nobody really has that. Nobody's done it.
Right. So, well, not that we know of. We couldn't find anything like that. So, it'll be cool. And if there's anybody watching that's encountered the problems that we will encounter, all you got to do is jump in and let us know, and it'll be kind of like a community of people who are in a band. So we'll all be doing this together. What are our long and short-term goals? I know both of them. You know yours?
Yeah.
What's your long-term goal, Nick?
My long-term goal is to be able to make some kind of a living wage on playing music.
That's my long-term goal. Yeah, I saw an interview with Dave Chappelle one time where he was talking about how he was a teenager and he was going to get into comedy, and his dad pulled him aside, and instead of giving him the whole "you'll never make it" speech, he said, "You need to decide right now what your level of success will be," which is brilliant, it's profound. So I decided that my level where I figure I'm a success will be, like you said, making money so that we don't have other jobs. We just have the band. And then what about your short-term goal?
My short-term goal is to not be impeded by my skill as a musician. Not hitting a wall with learning something, being able to just go straight from my brain to the instrument. It's short-term in gigantic air quotes, but that's a lot more attainable of a goal.
To get better.
Because think about Jimi Hendrix, I think. Somebody like, of course that's just an example. I seriously doubt that he had any problems making what he wanted to do with the guitar happen.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, at the point that we know Jimi Hendrix from.
Right.
Being able to, even if it's not the same skill level, being able to do that, and I have an idea, which we all do about music, everybody that's probably watching this, but being able to just do that without hitting a skill wall,
So you want to be good enough to just play whatever's in your head?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great goal. Maybe I want to switch my goal.
Maybe.
My short-term goal is for us to start playing live.
That's a great one. I should have done that.
Because that's, you can change. We could switch goals. I could take it, no.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, as I understand success in any area, it's made up of a billion little baby steps. Like if there's a staircase and I want to be at the top of that staircase, yeah, there's 500 stairs, but I only need to worry about the next one, right? That's how I see it. Now, I've never been successful at anything, so I could be wrong, but I think it seems pretty rudimentary that I only need to focus on this one step in front of me. And there's a whole bunch of kick-ass steps up there, but right now I'm just going to worry about this one. And I figure my first step will be to play live. So
Get our set.
That's an even better first set.
Because it's...
Get 2 hours of original tunes.
You can play a lot of shit live, but getting a worked out set, it's like... It's like, again, it's a lot like stand-up. They're very similar, I guess, in the way that they are. Stand-up is extremely similar, except you can't do covers in stand-up. But it's just, you work out that hour set of your material. That's your golden hour. You might
stand in front of the mirror and get it perfect.
Perfect, absolutely.
We couple of months ago, a little while ago, we decided we were going to start a band. And I was living in North Carolina and Nick was living in Florida. And we figured obviously we needed to be in the same place. So we rented a house here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the purpose of the house is just to be a studio. So it's not like we have a studio in our house. It's basically like we're sleeping and living in our studio. So we have no furniture.
You're seeing the living room right now, and what you're seeing is basically the peak of our luxury.
The house is empty, but it's full of music. That was pretty good. It turns out the rooms that have the most amount of furniture are the bathrooms, because they have a place where you can sit. They have a place where you can lay down. Because the bathtub is kind of like a bed. It's like a water bed. A water bed. You get it? We're not even like saving up to get furniture or any of that. In fact, we have been saving up to buy equipment because all we actually had was a couple of guitars and a couple of basses. But he wants to play drums. So we saved up and we ordered a set of drums, which are supposed to be here tomorrow. So that will actually be day 1 video. And this is what, 0 day?
Yeah, it's like session 0 and D&D.
Session 0.
That's where I got that.
And then, really?
Yeah.
We love D&D, by the way, so if you're down with D&D. And then we have a couple of small amps, which will be fine for now, but we have no distortion, so we can't get any kind of cool sound. So we ordered a fuzz pedal that'll be here tomorrow also. The big day, that'll be the day that we actually get the drums and we set them up and we get the pedal and we start actually being a band that can make music. And it's just going to be a 2-people band, right?
Yeah.
You're going to do drums and I'm going to sing and play guitar. And neither of us have ever done these things in bands before.
In my personal experience, because you've had almost over 40 years of being a musician, I have only a week ago played an instrument with another person in a room.
Yeah.
Which is, it's really wide to say that I wanted to be a drummer because I had a snare drum and I just practiced the paradiddles like every drummer that starts off does. Yeah, I think in that beat too often, but I'm going to be learning from step 1, which is pretty stressful, which leads into a musical experience. What's your musical experience?
That's a great segue. My musical experience started in 2nd grade, which would have been ages ago. It's before color was invented. I started out playing saxophone in school, and then I played flute and E-flat clarinet, and then when I was 15, I joined a band and started playing keyboards, and I played keyboards for a whole bunch of bands.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then I really loved it too, but there was an interesting thing that happened. Me and this bass player, this dude named Bill, we were in a bunch of bands together, and what we noticed, because he is just starting out too, neither one of us knew how to play our instrument, but we both understood music from being in band in school. So we were able to play the instruments and get tunes out of them, but what we discovered is that we became better musicians than the other people in these bands we were in, so we would end up quitting the band and then going and joining some other band, and then eventually drugs pretty much destroyed every endeavor we got into, and his whole life actually. Great lesson there, kids. Then I started playing bass, just because stringed instruments seemed fun, or more fun than keyboards, I don't know. So I played bass for 100 million years. And then for this band, this will be the first band I've ever played guitar in, and I've never played guitar and sang in my life, and I can only actually do it one song that I wrote a month ago. So basically we're both starting off from scratch. I have to learn how to sing and play at the same time, and you have to learn how to play. So it's the perfect beginning situation.
But that's interesting that, the decades of experience you have, we're at the same level with playing a guitar.
We're at the same level, yeah. I guess the only real difference is that I've been playing music since 1975.
Yeah.
But, which is a lot, because I understand music. I could play anything. When we moved into this house, our studio, we found an old church organ. I'm pointing at it, even though you can't turn your heads and look at it, but it's right there. And we'll end up using that, because as a musician, pretty much, once you understand music, you can get music out of any instrument. And one thing that I think is cool is that we're both interested in weird instruments. We both want harmonicas and tambourines and juice harps and
Banjos and
bongos
stuff
and
like
banjos. Yeah. So I think our music's going to end up being really crazy, even though I think most of what we've written is like what, like
One acoustic guitar, like
no, I mean what style, like
very I don't know, old rock and kind of bluegrass. A lot of the stuff you write kind of reminds me of bluegrass.
it is bluegrassy, which is weird because I don't listen to it, but it's also really metal, like or rock.
Rock is what I
It's
call
like
it. It's
blue
like
blue rock.
when rock started to kind of get less Buddy Holly and and started to get more like
Just like
towards Vietnam.
towards yeah. So I guess our music style is probably going to evolve too.
Of course.
Like what we first start writing, and because we're gonna suck for at least a year, remember that.
Yeah.
It's okay to suck for the first year. You start something new, right?
Oh yeah. Who is it that said the first draft always sucks shit?
I don't know.
That's a famous quote.
Probably Hemingway.
Almost certainly.
Yeah, the
Hemingway.
first draft is always a suck shit. So our first year will be shit, but we're gonna record it all. So
Learn from our shit.
learn from our shit and help us out if you have any advice or what.
I guess. I mean, any new information.
Yeah.
I guess if because it would be inaccurate to say that if there's anybody else doing what we're doing, because there's probably 100 million pairs of people that are writing music right now.
Every high school's got like at least 10 bands in it. How many
Yeah.
fucking high schools?
Well,
are
I mean,
there?
to be fair, I have been in a modern high school, and I met exactly 0 people that were in a band, and I was the only person that was even remotely interested in that, which is pretty lame and weird that
That
people
is-
that would be the case.
Yeah, maybe it's a generational thing. Because when I was in school, fucking everybody was in a band.
To be fair, the music popular nowadays really isn't bands; it's singular artists.
Oh, that's true. But that being said, the last job I had, everybody I met was a producer. They were all making songs with their phones, so they were all basically in a band of one. So that's our journey, right? That's our goal.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting a band. If you have any advice or if you want to help us out with getting equipment, we have a Patreon. Or if you just want to talk and be a part of what we're doing, we're here.
Yeah, my email's always open, and I think the same goes for you, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Probably not, but I guess practically, yeah.
Okay, over and out.